All right, so I am in the trap. I'm in it. And how do I know I'm in it? Because I was watching someone open this month's battle box, and there's a wood burning stove in there. And I was like, I need that stove. That stove is awesome. I need it. I went straight to Amazon and I was going to buy a wood burning stove. And then I realized, right, I already own a wood burning stove. I own a couple wood burning stoves and I don't use them. I don't use them. I haven't used them in a long time, but I already own them, right? So why do I need another one? And I might still buy it. Like, I still might get the one because it can fold in flat and so you can put it and it's easier to pack. I still might get it. But it got me thinking, am I actually prepared, or do I just keep buying stuff just to convince myself I'm prepared? Am I ready? Do I have the skills needed to deal with a situation, or do I just have the gear needed to deal with the situation? Because you kind of need both, right? And so here's some things that are common. These are some things that I've had to deal with as well, but these are some common things that I was thinking about when it came to prepper skills. And the first is a year without food. And so a lot of people like to stock up a year's worth of food, and so that if something were to happen, either inflation or a pandemic, or you get laid off from your job, one of your biggest bills each month is food, right? And so if you didn't have to worry about that for a whole year, that would relieve so much stress. It would make life so much better in that time. And so that's a goal a lot of people have. But what about the skills, right? Can you cook? Can you take the food that you have stocked up, put away, and make a delicious meal? Caroline just did a video talking about our menu. It's a recipe book that we put our favorite recipes in, and then that's our menu. When we want to eat, when we want to decide what's for dinner, we go through there and we find a couple things. Maybe it's Swedish meatballs, pizza, and burgers. Then we go, do we have the ingredients, and which ones do we have time for? And then we pick the best of the three that apply for that night. And so, and it's literally just a book of all the things that we can make from scratch. We can make our own noodles, we can make our own bread and biscuits, we can make a lot of our own stuff. And so we can make the things in that book from the stuff in our pantry, right? Everything that we own can make those things. And if we are stuck only eating the things inside our house, we have a menu of those things, and we can make delicious meals regardless. The other thing is gardening, right? Gardening is a good way to supplement your food preps. I am not a good gardener. Caroline's the gardener. I'm always trying to buy her different things. I'm always trying to buy her these gadgets and these different things to help her garden. And I don't know if anything of it's useful. I might just be buying her junk that she never uses. And I think it's good because I watch YouTube and I watch different things, and I think it's good gear and I think that it's going to help her. But I don't know, because I'm not the gardener. I don't know because I don't do it. And so I need to learn that skill, and I need to learn what we actually need, what's actually helpful. Caroline is a very nice individual, so anytime I get her anything, she's super excited about it, and she tries to use it, and she tries to, it becomes important to her because I got it for her, not because it's actually helpful. And so I need to take the time to be like, okay, what do you actually use? And why do you use it? And, I need to understand it myself, so I'm not buying junk and I'm not falling for the gimmicks when it comes to gardening stuff. The other thing is a generator. A lot of people have a generator. A generator is a great tool that most people should have, right? But do you know how to fix it? Do you know how to maintain it? If the power goes out and you get your generator and it doesn't start, do you know how to check for spark? Do you know how to check if it's getting fuel? Do you know how to take out the spark plug and check the spark plug? Do you know how to maintain it so that it's not just sitting there collecting dust, but you're actually changing the oil and maintaining your generator? One of the issues that I have is we didn't have a generator. We went 2 days without power. I had to borrow my dad's generator, and we're like, we can't do that again, because our house was sitting in water while I had to go get my dad's generator, and we needed one on hand. And we found one that was affordable, and we bought it because we needed to be more prepared. We just bought the first thing. And to take the spark plug out, which you're supposed to change the spark plug often, in order to get the spark plug out, I have to take the whole tank, the whole fuel tank off, and unhook it from the carburetor so I can get a socket on the spark plug so I can get the spark plug out. It is not the easiest thing in the world. And yes, it's doable. Yes, I have the tools to do it. Yes, it's not a big deal. But I wish I would have shopped around and found something that was easier to work on. I wish I found something that was easier to maintain. It is a good generator. It works really well. But again, that maintenance is not ideal. It's not what if I was given the choice, if I would have taken the time, I would never have bought that generator. I wouldn't have. But because I wanted to be prepared, I just scooped it right up, right? I thought it was a great deal. It's exactly what we needed. Get it. And again, I'm in that trap. I'm in it where I'm just buying things to be prepared, and I'm not learning the skills or thinking about the skills when I'm doing stuff. I'm only thinking about being prepared. The other thing is a bug out vehicle. Okay, what is your bug out vehicle? It could be a bicycle, it could be a SUV, it could be an electric vehicle, it could be an electric scooter, it could be a lot of different things. But again, do you know how to maintain that vehicle? Do you know how to fix a flat tire? Do you have Fix-A-Flat or Slime to get you by? Can you change the oil? Do you have the tools needed to inflate the tire? Do you have an air compressor, or I have a DeWalt tire inflator? Do you have the tools to take care of that? Do you have the tools to fix and adjust things, especially with like a bike or a electric scooter? Sometimes you need Allen wrenches and stuff. Can you fix the starter? What if the starter goes out? Can you replace the starter? Can you replace the battery? Can you replace the alternator? These are all things that can go wrong. Do you have the tools to make that happen? Do you have the tools? Again, a lot of bike seats need an Allen wrench to adjust the seat or take the seat out, put a new one in. Can you take a tire off and put a new tire on, especially in a vehicle? One of the things I need to work on is I need to learn how to read the tires, right? Because if something happens to my vehicle, I know it's a 15-inch rim. I know that. But what if something happens to one of Caroline's vehicles, or my parents' vehicle, or a friend of mine, or one of my brother's vehicle? I don't know what size rim they have. I need to be able to read that tire, figure out what size rim, what size tire, and then be able to go to a junkyard or be able to go somewhere and pick up a replacement so I can take the old one, the broken, if you bend a rim, I need to be able to take that off, put another one on, and it needs to be the same size, same shape, same everything as the one I just took off, right? And so that's a skill that I want to learn. I want to get really good at reading tires and understanding what all the numbers mean and everything. So again, I'm trying to think outside the box so that I have the skills needed for the stuff I'm buying, right? I'm buying a lot of stuff, but I need the skills to go with it. Next is a bug out bag. Again, you buy a bug out bag, you fill it full of stuff, but can you sew? When you have a bug out bag, I don't have a bug out bag. I have like a get home bag because this is my bug out spot. But if there's a lot of stuff in it, it's heavy. If one of the seams tears, I need to be able to fix that. I need to be able to sew that shut so that I can continue to carry all that gear. You know what I mean? And so being able to sew and patch, and if I get a rip in my tarp or a rip in my tent, being able to sew that shut and patch it. These are all skills that I don't currently have, but I am working on, because again, it's just buying a new tent isn't always going to be an option, right? Buying a better tent doesn't make it bulletproof, doesn't make it, everything has the chance to tear. Everything has the chance to break. Everything can fail. Am I able to fix those fails, right? And so it's not about buying better, 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 better. It's about, can I take care of what I have right now? And then yes, maybe buying better later means that I might not have to sew the backpack together, but it's still a skill that I should have. You know, a better backpack can still rip. A better backpack can still tear. And having that skill just makes me more ready for whatever situation presents itself. The last example I have here is a shelter in place. If you're going to shelter in place, do you have everything you need in that place? And again, can you feed yourself and your family? Can you entertain everyone? Do you have movies, board games, books, color pencils? Do you have all the things you need? Also, one of the things, this is what I was thinking about, is I have a coloring book with colored pencils. And the other day, me, my son, and Caroline sat down and colored, and I colored like 2 pictures. I did the front and back of one sheet. Caroline did the front and back of one sheet. My son did the front and back. So that's 3 pages in a 10-page book, right? And so it's not going to last nearly as long as I thought it was going to last, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like coloring a picture doesn't take as long as I thought it was going to, and it's not as, you know, you can do it very quickly. And when you sit down to do it, I'm not going to do just one real quick thing. And so now I'm trying to think of, is there more complicated coloring books that take longer? Because I know there's adult coloring books. And so a thing that I thought I had for entertainment isn't all that entertaining. It's not going to last that long. It's going to be a half hour tops, maybe an hour, and then what? What's next? What are we going to do after that? You know what I mean? It's not like a board game where we can sit down and play it again and again and again and again and again. It's like Monopoly takes forever. But when you have forever, you can play Monopoly. Or Connect 4. It doesn't take very long to play Connect 4, but you can play again and again and again and again. You can play for hours and hours at a time just because you're restarting and re-going again. You know, the replayability of the game. Coloring books, once you color that page, it's done. It's garbage, right? And so I have to reevaluate some of the things that I thought I was prepared for. I bought the stuff again, thinking that it was going to help me be prepared. But once I learned the skill, once I learned more about it, it's not nearly what I thought it was. And that's what this video is all about. I want you thinking about your preps. I want you thinking about what you have, what you bought, why you bought it, and do you have the skills to accomplish everything involved in that thing you bought. Let me know in that comment section what is something you want to work on in these next few months or this next year. Let me know in that comment section, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.